Assalamualaikum, guys. I am Naeem Khatak and I am a Ph.D. student at Texas Tech University, Texas, Lubbock. And today I would like to talk about the different Ph.D. scholarships in the United States. So actually, there are two types of things which you need to think about. Number one is that there is a PhD scholarship on F-1 visa, and also the other thing is that there is a PhD scholarship on J-1 visa. But there is a drawback with the J-1 visa that after completing your PhD you have to go back to your home country. While if you complete your PhD on F-1 visa, then you don't need to go back to your home country. So now on F-1 visa there are two types of things that you can do. Number one is that it is called teaching assistant, which we abbreviated as TA, and the second thing it is RA, research assistant. So on F-1 visa you can do these two things. Number one, it is called TA, and second is RA. For the RA and TA there is a little difference. You can say if you wanna be a TA, then the first thing that you have to directly apply to the university. You don't need to contact any person, you don't need to contact any professor, and you don't need to send any emails to the professor. The only thing you have to do is that you have the required documents, and then you have to make your application on the university website. And then if your profile is so strong, then definitely you will get a PhD position and they would offer you a TA position. So in TA position you would have a monthly stipend that is called monthly pay, and the second thing that your fees would be waived. And the probably I think the TA pay is probably around about more than 2,000 almost in every university across the United States. So this is one thing, and the second thing is research assistant. Again, for research assistant, mostly the professors, they announce the research assistantship positions, and they usually announce on LinkedIn, and there are also multiple sources. One of them is Twitter. So if you people use Twitter, then definitely you can find those positions on Twitter as well. But mostly you will get those positions on LinkedIn if you have LinkedIn account. If you don't have, then you should have. So when a professor announces a research assistant position, the second step that you should have to send the email to the professor, and in that email you should attach your CV and transcripts and other things. If you have publications, then you should attach the publications, and then you should send the email to the professor. And mostly professors, they usually respond to your email, mostly probably you can say in a 1 month. If they don't respond you, then you should know that they are not interested. If they respond, then they would ask you, okay, we wanna interview, and they would send you some slots, and then you have to take the interview. And then after taking the interview, definitely the professor will send you an email regarding your, you can say, the interview. And if your interview is so good, then definitely there is a slight chance that you would get a position, and then they will guide you the further process. So these are two things, TA and RA. In TA you don't need to contact any person, and in RA you need to first contact the professor, and then the professor will decide about your position, about your admission. If your profile is so strong, then definitely he would respond you, he would be interested, and he would offer you a position, and then he will further guide you about the process. And Now I am talking about the GPA and all these things. So if your GPA is low means if your GPA is lower than 3.5, then definitely you should have a GRE. GRE is a very important thing to get a scholarships, to get a TA or RA position, because the competition in the United States is very high. It's very competitive. So you should think about the taking GRE, and your marks should be more than 310 out of 340. So and also if your GPA is low, then you should have publications. The publication is also an important thing. If your GPA is so low, and if your GPA is above than 3.7 both in bachelor and master, then I think you are fine. And also there are universities which are so competitive, so you need to think about the universities, which university is competitive. So you should not make any application, because application fee is around about $90. So you would waste your money, you would waste your time. So you should think about the lower ranking universities in the United States if you wanna you can say want a PhD scholarships. And now I would talk about the J-1 visa. So on J-1 visa, either you can apply for Fulbright scholarships, and again for the Fulbright scholarship, after completing your PhD, you would go back to your home country. You can stay in the United States, so which is a big drawback. So I would suggest you that you should not go with J-1 visa. You should think about F-1 visa, and the process is really simple. If you are interested in TA position, then you only need to apply to the university, and then if your profile is so strong, then definitely you would get a position. Otherwise, they would say sorry. And the last thing is for the master students. So mostly in the United States, they don't offer scholarships to the master students, and mostly engineering departments they do, but it would be very competitive. Again, for the master student, there is only one thing, that is Fulbright scholarship, and it's called J-1 visa. So after completing your master, you would go back to your home country. You can stay in the United States, and the one thing you can do is, I think, that after completing your master, then you can convert, I think, probably to F-1 visa, and then you can start your PhD, and then in this way you can stay in the United States after completing your PhD. But you can't stay in the United States on J-1 visa. So I would suggest you that don't go for J-1 visa. You should think about F-1 visa, and the rule is really simple for the PhD students. There are two things, TA and RA. Again, I explained all these things, that what should you have to do, and what are the requirements, and what are the right persons to contact. So this is, I think, all about the PhD scholarships in the United States, and I hope and I wish that you would get a PhD position if you really think about this video, and you really work out for the PhD position in the United States. Workout means that first you have IELTS, and then you have GRE if you have low GPA, and then if you are interested in TA, then you have directly apply to the university, and then if your profile is so strong, definitely I am 100% sure that you will get a position. And for RA, again, you have to contact a professor, and then after contacting a professor, he or she will I think respond you. If they don't, then you are fired. So that's it. I think we will see you in the next video. Bye.